This video is to show how to use tokens to teach phonemic awareness using David Kilpatrick's Equipped for Reading Success. The items that we'll use for syllables, the tokens we'll use are index cards. For onset rhyme, I have a marker. And for phoneme level, I have Cheez-Its. Every time we clap, that's one syllable, but we can just call them claps. So how many claps are in sunshine? That's right, two claps. Now, I want us to figure out if we say sailboat, but we don't say boat, what do we have? That's right, sail. Levels E3 through E5 should be done while you're also working on those phoneme levels, F and above, F through I. Also of note, students can go from D2 to E2. You can skip E1, it is optional. E2 involves deleting the first syllable from a 3-syllable word. And I'm gonna scaffold getting the correct answer for the activity by first asking some questions. So here we have improvement. Which one is M? That's right, this is M. Which one is the last syllable? That's right, and what is this last syllable? Ment, very good. And remember, we can call it syllables or claps. Improvement, now you say it. Okay, great. All right, now I'm gonna take away M. What's left? And they'll say improvement. We are literally teaching the awareness in this moment. Since Equipped for Reading Success says to move on to F1 once your student has mastered E2, that's what we're gonna do here as well. Level F is all about onset rhyme. We have our onset and here we have our rhyme. And I guess since my kiddo's sitting across from me, I need to go like this. It, okay? So it would sound more like this. All right, we're gonna work with a word, chair, all right? And we know words are made of parts. So let's just talk about that first sound in chair. Ch, air. All right, can you do that with me? All right, ch, air. Okay, so what is this? Is this ch or is this air? That's right, this is ch. All right, what's left? Oh, no, not quite. Let's try it again. Ch, air. Ch, air. Now F2. Let's talk about more. All right? Say the word more. Kiddo says more. Now let's say or. Very good. Or. Which one is or? Is it this one or is it this one? Very good. It's this one. Now let's say or, more, but don't say or. What's left? So that's F2. I wouldn't spend a lot of time on F2 at all. We're gonna go back and fold in one of the E levels that is higher than E2. So let's look at E3. Well, E3 is considered advanced syllable level deletion. So you're the kiddo. Say wonderful. Yep, wonderful, very good. Now say wonderful. All right, your turn. And the kiddo goes, wonderful. Okay, which one is one? That's right, this one. Which one is der? Yep, and what's this one? Or just ask which one is full, okay? Scaffold it however you like. Now say wonderful, wonderful, but don't say one. What do we have? You can always come back to the E levels, E3 through E5, while you're working on higher F and higher. So G1 is all about exchanging one phoneme at the onset for another phoneme. K, and this is ub, all right? But we're gonna replace this with a different sound. So we could do it two different ways. We could get a different cap, right? And put a different color cap on to help. or we can just get right to using our tokens that we're going to use in most of the other levels. And so for me, I would do something like this. Okay, we're going to do something new. You know, every time you do really well with a level, we just have to make it harder. Say cub. They say cub. All right, now say cub, but instead of k, say t. This right here is just to see how easy this is for them. Because if it's super easy, we're not going to use our tokens. We're not going to spend time on that. And we're only going to use tokens to teach. All right, so let's say they struggled with that. So here we go. All right, good job. Good hard work. I love the way you're working so hard. So let me tell you, let's figure out how many sounds are in cub. All right, well, let's figure it out. Touch spell. K, b. Good job. You got that last sound. What was that first sound? K, b. Well, how many sounds is that? Let them tell you how many sounds. That to me is really important to know as a teacher. So then I can give scaffold further by saying, that's right, 3 sounds. So let's draw three lines. K, b. All right. And let me show you. Here are our sounds. K, b. What word? Cub. Very good. What is this sound right here? You know, if the kid seems to be catching on pretty quickly, ask about a middle or end sound. If they're really struggling, ask about the beginning sound. It goes like this: easiest, and these are much harder. Okay, so, but what the activity is focused on is this right here. So, show me where is ub. You could even say, hey, circle ub for me. And then they circle ub, all right? Okay, and what is this? Remember, our word is cub. So what is this? That's right, k, all right? But what if I take away k, and instead I put t? It's okay that it's the exact same token. What is it now? T. Oh, no, wait a minute. Remember, this is t. So that's the way we can correct any errors. Just say, oh, no, remember. So, and what's the rest of this? Remember, you circled it. It's circled as ub. Okay, now tell me the word. Tub. Words are made of what? What are words made of? That's right. Words are made of parts. And if we know all the parts, then we can read all the words. Now in G2, you got it. We're going to substitute the rhyme part. So, for example, again, we can be without any tokens to kind of quickly assess. All right, kiddos, we always got to make it more challenging. Say fit. Great. Now say fit, but instead of it, say or. We got it quickly and automatic. You're moving on. Let's go ahead and see what it looks like to use the phoneme level for G2. Okay, kiddos, so say tell. All right, tell. All right, now we want to figure out how many sounds are in tell. How many sounds are in tell? If they know the process of doing sounds, just get right to it. If not, help them go through it, like t, e, o. How many sounds is that? That's right, 3 sounds. So I need to draw 3 lines. T, e, o. Okay? So let's put our sound cards there. T, e, o. All right? What is this? And what is the rest of this? So ask those questions again to scaffold their memory, their knowledge, their awareness. So once we figure out that tell, that this part is L, then you can say, okay, well, what if I take away O, L, and I put ag? What's my new word? And if they get tag, great. Go on to the next word and keep doing this until it becomes more and more automatic. And then once they're automatic, you remove that. And that's when you're doing the 1-minute activities and able to assess for automaticity. Okay, since we're always working on more than one level and we're not going in order for the level E, let's say now we're also working on level E4. Manager. All right, say manager. Now say manager, but don't say man. You see what I did there, kiddos? How many claps are a manager? Manager. That's right. 3 claps, which means 3 syllables. Which syllable, which clap is man? That's right. This one here. So we want to know what the rest of the word says. So let's say it again. Manager. What is this one? What is this one? Jur. Very good. So manager. Don't say man, a jur. That's how you work with it. Ask them questions until they come up with it. Remember when we talked about tap, app? Block is much harder to identify the first sound, b, is because it's right next to another consonant, and those sounds blend together. Block. It's hard for a lot of kids to distinguish b, o, a, k, that there's 4 sounds. 1, say block. Now say block, but don't say b. If they struggle at this, we're just gonna go straight to tokens. We wanna get to where their challenge lies and get to it quickly and use tokens for the rest of that time until we move them to automaticity. Most of our time should be on tokens. Let's do it together. B, sh. Great. How many sounds are in that word? Brush. That's right. 4 sounds. So I'm gonna write 4 lines. B, sh. And then I'm gonna emphasize again, b, or maybe I'll ask them. Go ahead, fill it. You know this activity. Fill in and tell me the sounds as you do it. And so they'll say b, sh. Right on. Okay. What is the first sound in brush? See what they say. Scaffold accordingly. Okay. So if they say bruh, then you're going to say, oh, hold on. If this is bruh, what is this? All right. Because we have b, sh. All right. So what is this first sound? B. Very good. All right. Show me, where is the sound in brush? B, sh. Where's the sound? That's right. Very good. So at first you want to scaffold, really giving them the answer. Where is the sound in b, sh? Right? That's high scaffolding. Once they're successful, the next time, the word might be plain. All right. And it's then I'm saying, okay, where's p? Very good. That's p in plain. Now, where is ol? That's different than saying p, ol, a, n. Now tell me where is ol, right? That's the way we're going to scaffold this. We're going to go from making it very easy and obvious to more and more challenging until they're so successful with the tokens. Then it's time to do 1-minute activities to assess for automaticity. All right, say blue. Now say blue, but instead of b, say k. Well, they really struggled on that. I'm not doing any more assessing. I'm not doing 1-minute activities. I'm getting right to it. I'm teaching the awareness using tokens. Blue. All right, now let's figure out how many sounds are in blue. Let's figure out how many sounds are in b, o, u. How many sounds are in blue? And they're going to tell you because you're holding it up. 3. Very good. So I'm going to write b, o, u. Blue. All right. Someone tell me the first sound. B. Tell me the next sound. O. Tell me this sound. U. So I'm making it a little bit more challenging by having them come up with the sounds. So many ways you can work with this. All right. So again, what is this sound? B. Very good. But I don't want, and what's the word? Blue. Very good. All right, I don't want it to be the word blue anymore. I want to take away b and instead put g. What's my new word? Glue. If they had trouble with that, then you're going to scaffold accordingly. You're going to, again, ask really simple questions. And we're moving on to I1, but we're also going to go back and we're going to work a bit more on the syllable level, E5. So you might do a quick assessment, hey, say clarinet. Now say clarinet, but don't say net. Well, let's say they struggled with that. Am I gonna just keep working on oral, like having them figure it out without using tokens? Never. I'm quickly gonna go to tokens. Daffodil. 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 It's a flower. Have you ever seen a daffodil? Yes, very pretty. They smell good too. Daffodil. All right, so here is, which one is my first clap? Oh, that's right, we're going this way. This is my first clap. Daffodil. Okay, so what if I take away our daffodil? What's left? Daffo. We'll start with I1, go to I2. Let me just tell you about level I. It's basic phoneme level processing, deletion of final phoneme. Okay, so we worked on initial phoneme by doing phoneme from the onset, like k, at, and then we worked on words like clap, right? And took away the k and ended up with lap. And then we worked on substituting that first phoneme. So it always goes from easiest to hardest. Things get harder when you put two consonant phonemes together, and things get harder when you move to the back of the word. The middle and the back of the word are just harder for the awareness of sounds and the identification of sounds and words. And if they can't identify those sounds and words, then it makes it very hard for the graphemes, those letters, to have meaning in their head, to have that sound symbol correlation. So it makes it very hard to learn to read if we don't have good awareness of all of the phonemes in a word. I1, I'll read from the book, involves deleting the final sound in a word, but the student must split the final blend in order to delete the word's final sound. The word grasp. Sp. That's hard for kids because the sp, it's hard for them to distinguish that that's two sounds. So we do a quick assessment, right? Without our tokens. Say grasp, grasp. Now say grasp, but don't say p. And they struggle with it. I'm not doing any more 1-minute activities without tokens. Boy, I'm getting my tokens and I'm teaching, all right? And I'm scaffolding. So let's do just that. So we'll say to the kiddo, say bend, all right, bend. How many sounds are in the word bend? And maybe by this point, I'm not doing that with them. Let's have them do more of the touch spell and figure out the sounds. It really depends on where your kiddo is with it. You can always scaffold early by showing, right? Or you can see where they are with figuring out the sounds themselves. So b-e-n-d, that's right. And what is that final sound? Well, let's figure it out together. B-e-n-d, right? Go ahead, put our sounds in. B-e-n-d. What's the word? Bend. Very good. It's the last sound in bend. Yes, it's d. Okay. So I want you to say bend, but don't say d. And that's then when they need to come up with ben. If they get it wrong, ask questions that have to do with how they were getting it wrong so that you lead them to the correct answer. All right, let's say dent. D-e-n-t. Dent. D-e-n-t. Dent. And have the kiddos do as much as this as possible. D-e-n-t. Okay, dent. What is this final sound in dent? That's right. T. Now let's take that away. What do we have left? Oh, maybe they made a mistake. Oh, hold on. What is this sound? What is this? Remember the first word was dent. All right, and then you can ask them again. Well, which one's d? Okay, d-e-n-t. So tell me again, what is this? A lot of times they'll have trouble with this sound. These are the sounds that are going to be tricky. They're tricky because it's two consonants next to each other and because it's at the end of the word. which means it's going to be hard to read those words too if they're not having that awareness of those sounds. Seen. How many sounds are in seen? 3. Okay. We already know that we need to get to the token level. So, s, e, n. S, e, n. Now say seen, but don't say n, see. And at this point, you might start using the same pattern as the 1-minute activities, but using your tokens. So for example, I have my 1-minute activities right here, and I might say, all right, kiddos, say lake, 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 lake. Now say lake, but don't say k, lay. And then I am giving the 1-minute activities more for assessment. I want to know where they are, and are they at the awareness stage where they are getting them correct, but it's not automatic. It's not within 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. That's how quickly they should be able to give an answer. All right, so we are supposing that your kiddo achieved mastery for I2, and therefore it's time to move on to J. And maybe they're just not at mastery yet for, E5, and you're still going to work on that. That's okay. Keep moving on higher with the phoneme level. So now we're at level J. This again is advanced phoneme level processing, and it's substituting the middle vowel sound. This is harder. It always goes from first to last to middle. The hardest is the middle. So it involves switching the medial vowel sound in words. So for example, dad to did. Again, without our tokens, real quick assessment with a few words to kind of know, are they getting 4 out of 5 words correct? Are they getting them correct, but not automatic, in which case I'm still going to use tokens? Where are they? And if they are completely automatic, I'm moving on. But our kiddo is not, so we're using tokens. Let's say hot, hot. How many sounds? 3 sounds. Hot. All right, you fill in the words. What's this one? Hot. Now, instead of hot, all right, instead of I want you to say ah. What's the word? Hat. Now say lap, lap. App. All right, app. Now say lap, but instead of say lip. So we can move through these very quickly. And once they are getting it, once they're answering your questions, like they're all over it and they're even anticipating and they're just, fix, fox, sell, sill, den, done. Man, that's when it's time to do, maybe give them some 5 words and see, are they 4 out of 5 correct? Are 4 out of 5 automatic? If they're not yet automatic, but they're correct, they're at the awareness stage, but still use tokens. Forward. Level K. This again is advanced phoneme level processing. It's manipulating the second sound in the initial blend. Wow, that's going to be harder because we have more awareness of that first sound. It's that second sound when 2 consonants are together, like the word blend, that second sound, it's really hard to be aware of that sound until you are, okay? So if we have the word blend, don't say oh, you end up with bend. Well, let's do a quick assessment. We might give 4 words, 5 words, and if they're really struggling right off, I'm not even going to do the rest of the assessment. I'm going to get right to it. I'm getting right to my token level, token teaching. So we'll say something like, all right, let's say the word break, break. All right, how many sounds are in ache, break? That's right, 4 sounds, ache. All right, you put the tokens on, and then put on, say the sounds as you put them there, ache. All right, where's the in this? Very good, Okay, now we want you to say break, but I don't want you to say What's left? Bake. Again, if they didn't get it right, you're gonna ask questions to help scaffold. Then once they're really good at this, that's when you do another assessment to see if they're at the knowledge level or if they're mastery, automatic and correct, or correct and automatic. Now we're at substitution in that K level, all right? So this is like, say spy, spy. Now say spy, but instead of p, say k, sky. And let's say we already know that they have trouble with this. So let's figure out how many sounds are in sp, I. That's right, 3, sp, I. All right, you put the sounds down, sp, I. All right, now tell me, what is this sound? P, very good. So instead of p, I want it to be k. What's the word? Sky. Nice. With more than one kiddo, have them rotate first, second, third sound, and go back and forth, right? So if they're really good and quick at counting phonemes, you can start taking that away, okay? You can, if they're having trouble, then you're telling them the sounds, right? You're telling them the sounds in, for example, play. Oops. You're telling them the sounds in the word p, o, a, right? P, o, a. And you're saying, this is o. I want to take away o and add p, a, p, a. What's that word? P, a. So the more they struggle, the more you are telling them. The more they are comfortable and capable, the more you're relying on them to be challenged. So instead of telling them the sound, you're asking the sound. B, o, each, bleach. All right, so we have b. What's this sound? No, b, o, each, bleach. And maybe you describe what bleach is. This is going to be a hard one for a lot of kids. B, o, b, o, each. And here's another way to really scaffold. B, o, each. All right, what if this o is not b, o, each, but b, each? What is it then? B, each. That's right, breach. And now we're moving on to level L. And again, I'll give kind of 4 words to assess. Am I at the awareness stage where I'm still going to use tokens, but I know it's very quickly they're going to be at the automatic stage? Or are they at the token stage where I have to really help them be aware of those sounds by scaffolding with a lot of questions? So that's what I'm doing in my quick assessment. So my quick assessment determines that they are incorrect and struggling. So I know I'm going to probably be spending a lot of time using tokens in level L. And touch spell seed. S-E-D. How many sounds? 3. S-E-D. Put in my tokens. S-E-D. Very good. What is this last sound? D. Yep. Seed. Now say seed, d, but instead of d, seed, d, say t. What's that word? Seat. Seat. Very good. Say hive. How many sounds? H-I-V. 3 sounds. I-V. Now instead of, what's that last sound? V. I-V. Instead of v, say d. I-D. Hi. Mouse. How many sounds in mouse? Ow, s. Ow, s. Now instead of mouse, I want you to say ow. What is it? Mouth. Good. Now fish. That's right. Shh. Fish. See how I paused and I let them fill it in. What's the last sound? That's right. Shh. Now say That's right, sh. Now say fish, sh, but instead of sh, say t. What do we have? F-I, and I pause so they fill it in. Because if they're just saying fit, then there's no need to scaffold further. And once they're really catching on and gaining that awareness to the last sound and able to substitute that last sound, then it's take away the tokens and choose 5 words and see, do they get 4 out of 5 correct? Are 4 out of 5 correct, but not automatic, in which case you're still going to use tokens, but you know that you're almost there. Or are they 4 out of 5 correct and 4 out of 5 are automatic, are within 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi? Then it's move on to the next level. That takes us to L2. All right, so we do our quick little assessment without tokens. Say arm, arm. Now instead of say k. All right, and we go through 5 words and you see, let's say that you can see that they're pretty good, but it's not within 2 seconds. So you know you're gonna use tokens, they're at the awareness stage, but you're not gonna have to be using tokens very long. So don't let the fact that there's a token stage confuse you that you can use tokens at the awareness stage. The awareness stage is just the indicator that you're gonna not have to be here very long. They're almost automatic because they're getting them correct, but not with automaticity. So that's where our kiddo is, and that's why we're gonna be able to zip through L2. All right, so we're gonna give our things like, all right, say surf. How many sounds in surf? That's right. Maybe I asked them to write it. S-er-f, s-er-f. Okay, and what is this sound? I'm gonna make my questions more challenging. So instead of saying which one says f, I'm gonna ask, what is this sound? Which is more challenging because there's less scaffolding. Okay, so here's the word surf. Now say surf, but instead of f, say ch. Search. All right, that one's gonna be hard. So scaffold only as much as needed and get going. All right, so now we're at level M. This is the creme de la creme. Say silk, s-i-olk. How many sounds? 4 sounds. S-i-olk. All right, put my sounds there. You put them there. S-i-olk. So the kiddo put the sounds there, and I'll ask, where's the ol sound? That's right. So we have s-i-olk. S-i. What sound is this? Olk. S-ilk. S-i-olk. Silk. Well, what is the word if I take out the ol? What is it now? Sick. Very good. All right. Say bend. B-e-n-d. Bend. Where's the n sound? N. B-e-n-d. B-end. Bend. Right? Here's the n. Well, what is the word? What is bend if I take away n? Bed. Good. All right. Now let's say clamp. How many sounds are in clamp? K, o, a, m, p. 5 sounds. Right. So we need to add another one here. All right. You put the sounds down for me, and the kiddo goes k, o, a, m, p. And what word? Clamp. Okay. What is this sound right here? Notice that's harder than asking where's right? Because they have to come up with the sound. That's much harder. So, what is this sound right here? Very good. So they need to come up with it at that point. What is it if I take that away? Clap. Very good. All right, this is going to be hard for a lot of kids. So be ready to spend a lot of time here. And that's why we don't want to spend any more time than necessary at any level. And once your kiddo is doing really well with these exercises in scaffolding, take away the tokens and do that quick assessment using 5 words. And then you're able to tell, are they really struggling, which we call that the token level, or are they getting them mostly correct, but not yet automatic, in which case you still need to do token work to get them to that automaticity. Once they are at that automaticity, moving on to M2. M2 involves substitution of the second from last sound in a word, which requires splitting an ending blend. Again, we know what's harder and what's hardest. Those blends are hardest, and they're even more difficult if they're at the end of a word. So we're going from a word like lift, right, to substituting lift to list, okay? So let's say we already did our 5 words. We know that this kiddo is at the knowledge stage because they're getting them correct, but not automatic. We're not going to have to do a lot of time here, so I'm going to ask more challenging questions. All right, so I'll say something like, say lift. Great. How many sounds? Lift. Lift. Okay. You write it for me. Maybe I ask the kiddo. You write lift. You write the lines. Okay. You put in the sounds. Lift. Okay. What is this sound? That's right. Okay. So what's the word if instead of I have s, list? Let's say coast, coast. Put in the sounds coast, coast. Now say coast, but don't say s, coat. So let's say they had trouble with the last one. And so I'm going to take a step back and give more scaffolding. So that's going to look like more touch spell and me asking simpler questions. All right, so let's say the word graft. G-R-A-F-T. How many sounds are in that? You touch spell. So I'll have them touch spell because, again, we're taking a step back in scaffolding and we're really making it easy. I did it, and now they're doing it. G-R-A-F-T. All right, and then I'll even show them. So that's, you said 5 sounds? Right. G-R-A-F-T. Okay, and I'll ask an easy question. We put our sounds down. G-R-A, G-R-A, G-R-A-F-T. Okay, so where's G? That's right, G. Where's 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 t? So I made it real easy because I just went in order, you know. And then I'll say, okay, now tell me where is in graft. Where is and if they still have trouble, I'll say, where is g-r-a-f-t? Where is in graft? You know, and I really just told them that's scaffolding. Let's make it really easy until they're very good, and then let's make it harder and harder. And that's the way we do scaffolding. That's the way we do tokens. Be quick to remove tokens and do an assessment. The assessment tells you if they're not in the mastery stage, you're going to use tokens, but it tells you if they're considered in the token stage, you know that they're going to just be there quite a bit longer, and you need to ask even more basic questions. If they're in the knowledge stage, ask them more challenging questions, scaffold less. And I hope this helped.